In this video series, I work through a math problem or problems each video. Much like how we factor the difference of perfect squares using the formula a plus b multiplied by a minus b is equal to a squared minus b squared in the previous video, we can factor a squared plus b squared plus 2ab into a plus b squared and factor a squared plus b squared minus 2ab into a minus b squared. Let's take a look at the examples. We need to factor the following expressions. Let me first go ahead and write the two formulas that we're going to use here. The two formulas are a squared plus 2ab plus b squared is equal to a plus b squared, and a squared minus 2ab plus b squared is equal to a minus b squared. These two expressions here are almost the same, and the only difference is a plus sign here and the minus sign here. So that's how we're going to determine which formula we're going to use to help us factor these expressions. The first expression is x squared plus 2x plus 1. So if we try to match up the sign here, we see that this is a plus sign. So we'll go ahead and use the first formula to factor this expression. So if we take a look at the first term, the squared part matches up. And in place of a, in our expression, we have x. So let's go ahead and try to replace a by x in our expression. Next, let's take a look at the last term. We have b squared here, and we have 1 here. We can actually rewrite 1 as 1 squared, because 1 squared is equal to 1. So if we do that, we see that in our expression, we replace b by 1. So now we just need to make sure that the middle terms actually match up. We have 2 here, so go ahead and just write 2. So the 2's match up. Then we have x. So that would be x here. And since we're replacing a by x, this part matches up. And finally, we need to have the b, the replacement of b here. And since the replacement of b is 1 in this case, 2 times x times 1 is equal to 2x. So the middle terms match up, and we can go ahead and use the right hand side of the formula and just replace a and b here by x and 1. So x squared plus 2x plus 1 factored is equal to x plus 1 squared. Next we have y squared minus 10y plus 25. Since we have a minus sign here, we'll go ahead and use the second formula. And once again, let's try to match up the a first, then the b, and then we'll check the middle term after that. So instead of a, we have y in our expression. We don't have a squared here, but 25 can be rewritten as 5 squared. Now we see that because the squares match up here, if we replace b by 5 in the formula, we get this part to match up. And finally, we just need to make sure the middle terms match up. We have the minus sign, and 10 can be factored into 2 and 5. So we can write the 2 here to make it match up. And we have 5y left. Since we said we're going to replace a by y, we can go ahead and write that here. And we're going to replace b by 5. So we get that, and written like this term matches the expression here, or the term here in the formula, and this term is also equal to the middle term that we originally had. So now, written this way, this formula, or this expression, matches the left-hand side of the second formula. So now we can go ahead and just replace the right-hand side by the same replacement, and we can just replace a by y and b by 5, and we find that when we factor y squared minus 10y plus 25, we get y minus 5 squared.